thank you for joining me. This stream will start in approximately 1 minute and 45 seconds. We will be starting in approximately 10 seconds. Hi and welcome to this stream. Thank you for joining me on this Monday evening. My name is Wayne from Ascend Custom Designs. I'm a small business owner and a part of the xTool Squad program. So the xTool Squad is a global network of experienced makers, educators, and small business owners such as myself. We offer one-on-one demos of the products that we own. And the demos are a mix of online and in person. It differs by host. We also offer material testing and skill training. Material testing involves testing customer supplied samples under a number of different parameters to get you perfect results. Whereas skill training is essentially a one-on-one masterclass with an xTool Squad member. We will help you skip any learning curve. It's very much tailored to what you want to get out of it. So it might be software related help. It might be help with maintenance, knowing how to maintain your equipment. So it's effectively a one-on-one training session, and it's whatever you need out of it. We also have a promotion running right now. So it's been running for a very long time. And that is where you can demo any of xTool's products absolutely free. So like I said, you have the one-on-one online demo, or it's a one-on-one in-person demo. And right now, xTool will pay the host. So whoever you select will get paid a set fee from xTool, regardless if you buy a machine or not. I highly recommend, where possible, you find someone local and check out the machines in person. I have so many stories about people seeing these online ads from xTool and they think it's a gimmick with how quick things can engrave, how easy things are to cut. And honestly, when people see it in person, they realize it's not AI generated. There's no tech wizardry going on. It does do what it says on the tin. So if you're interested in that, please go to the website below. So that's support.xtool.com/xtool-squad. I'll also drop the information into the comments. So if you want to book a demo, you can do that from the link that I've just posted. What I'll do now is I would typically jump on to the workshop, but I do have a couple things to announce from xTool. So right now it's an exciting time. So if I jump over to their website, xTool have just recently released the Wonder Press. So if I scroll around, so you got this Wonder Press here. So I have my Wonder Press on the way. So this is a new product from xTool. It's more than just a heat press. So you can do several different things with it. If you want to find out more information about that, please check out xTool's website. It honestly is quite amazing, some of the things that you can do with this machine. So I do have that on the way. If anyone is looking for a demo of that, please check my demo room out and book me when I have it. Alternatively, find a demo host that does have it. There are a few demo hosts that already have this Wonder Press, so please do check that out. There's too many things to just list in this short time that I have of all the things it can do, so please do check that out. The other thing that I want to point to people's attention is this new printer release. So this is specifically a printer. It's not just a normal printer, it's a UV printer. There's 3 variations of it. There's the single version UV, a dual version, so it's got dual print heads. So you got a single print head and you got dual print heads. With the dual print head, you have slightly more options. I shouldn't say slightly, you do have more options in what you can print on. That is because of the additional ink that you can use with that additional ink head. But if you're just starting with UV printing, that price right there is absolutely phenomenal. If you have a look at some of the other competitors out there, you will see that this price here, this £1,400, absolutely blows the competition out of the water. And there's also a third option. So the third option is the UV plus DT fabric edition. So what happens is you have the UV print head that you can use the UV ink with. And then you also have the direct to fabric ink that you can use that to print direct to fabric. So I highly recommend you check out xTool's official launch tomorrow. So tomorrow, they are launching it from, I think, Berlin. If I have a look on their website, there is an announcement somewhere of when you can check it out, their press release, and they're doing it live from Berlin. I highly recommend you check that out. So if we have a look on xTool's website, it should be listed somewhere on here. If I was a little bit more organized, I would have had it ready for you. So the 30th of June, here we go. We learn more information. Please do check this out. And again, save the live stream. I'll post the link in the comments. If you're interested about the UV printer, please do reach out. Check out the live stream. Like I said, there'll be more information listed and available once they've showcased it with the live stream. So what I'll do now is I will post that link there. So if you check that out, if you want more information. With that being said, if I jump over to the workshop today, honestly, very, very exciting times for xTool. So there's 3 machines that I'll be switching in between, both today and Wednesday. So I'm not online tomorrow. That's the day the release of the official release of the 01, the Omni printer. So I'll be doing the M2, F2 and F2 Ultra UV today. So I'll go over its tech specs. I'll then give you a quick physical look of the lasers. We'll then cover some laser safety just very briefly. Then we'll jump straight into the xTool Studio software. I really want to highlight custom things for you today. I have the store, a demo store ready to go. I've done some testing with it. And honestly, I just want to show you how easy it is to maximize your workflow. So if you only have 1 laser, you can definitely still use custom things. If you have 2 lasers, even better. You got more options. Last week, I showed you how easy it was to use 2 different lasers to get 2 different effects. So if you don't remember or didn't tune in, it's a similar effect to this. If I show you the actual one we did live on stream, it was of the dog. So we did the dog in the one machine, and then in the second machine, the F2 Ultra UV, we was able to get this gold engraved, and honestly, it does sparkle. I don't know how well that shows up on the camera, but honestly, it does sparkle. So it's a fantastic effect to have, and we utilized 2 different lasers to get this result. With the F2 Ultra UV, was able to get this result. Was able to cause glassification to happen with the slate. So localized heat, it didn't spread because of the way the UV laser works. The wavelength that it operates on was able to get the heat to apply very specifically, and was able to get that effect because of that. So if you want to find out more information about that, please check out last week's live stream. Alternatively, please do reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. Some of the things that we'll cover in terms of projects: wooden keychain, golf marker, wooden challenge coins. I'm thinking the wooden keychain and the challenge coin I'll do on some stock wood that I have on the M2 together in one go. But we'll do the challenge coin, we'll do the golf marker. So I've got loads of these golf markers. So if anyone's been golfing, you'll know that these are used to mark where the golf ball is. So these are very customizable. So these are enamel on one side, the white enamel, and on the back it's stainless steel. They're magnetic. So usually you would have a cap with a magnet in it, and you would stick to the cap, or you have something on your waist that has a magnet in it. So these will stick to the magnet. And people pay a premium for very good designs. So I'll show you just how easy it is to get a certain effect. I've set this up on custom things, so I'm readily able to accept orders. And not just accept orders, I'm able to quickly get them out. So gone are the days where I'm doing many micro adjustments to orders for customers. I don't know how your business operates, but if you've been in business for a while, especially doing highly customized goods, depending on what communication channel you're using, email, text, WhatsApp, there can sometimes be a lot of back and forth with customers, and that is wasted time. So for example, I'm doing a family tree. I've got 10 elements, I've listed the names, and all of a sudden the customer wants things arranged slightly differently, the font bigger, certain names smaller. You can easily lose an hour without selling a product, without pushing out product. So custom things puts all that onus on your customer. So the customer will have a design. You can load templates on there to make it very simple for them to get started. So for example, if you're doing a family tree, you could have a simple 2-person family tree where they can only enter 2 names, a 3-person family tree, 4-person family tree, so on and so forth. And you can price each one accordingly. And more importantly, you're getting the customer to do all the design work. So I'll show you that. If anyone has any questions as we go along, I'm monitoring the comments. Please do ask. Alternatively, if you're watching this after it's aired, please do reach out to me. My contact information is on the screen. So if we jump into the xTool M2, so this is xTool's latest laser. It comes in 3 variations. So it has a 10 watt and 20 watt diode laser, along with a 3 watt infrared module. But this also has an additional print module. So this one can actually print, and it can print in full color. So it has the CMYK, so that stands for the cyan, magenta, yellow, and K is black. It's a fully enclosed class 1 laser. So it's very safe to be around. All the smoke will stay enclosed and can be vented with the enclosed hose pipe outside. And the class 1 laser basically means no laser light will leak out to damage your eyes. And if you was to open up the enclosure, the machine will stop. So you cannot operate this machine with the lid open. The machine will only work with the lid closed. So it's very, very safe to be around. Very good budget laser, and more importantly, a very good laser if it is your first adventure into this area. In terms of technology, it is cram-packed full of technology for the price point. It has a dual camera system, so it has a 5 megapixel panoramic camera, and that is located on the lid. It also has a 2 megapixel close-up camera, and that's located to the right of where the modules are installed. It does have some novel features such as auto material detection, so you can put some material in there and it will hazard a best guess as to what it is. Generally speaking, it's pretty accurate. So if I was to put a slate coaster in there, it will recognize it's a slate coaster and generate some settings accordingly. If I was to put in a cork coaster, it will know that it's cork and generate, again, settings accordingly. And it does get you in the ballpark. Realistically, you should always know what material you're putting in there for various reasons, such as health reasons. So when we cover the safety aspect of things, the laser safety, you'll notice I'll mention about there's materials that you shouldn't engrave. So please always know the material that you're putting in. And then in terms of speed, it can operate at a max speed of 600 millimeters a second. It comes pre-assembled, it's ready to use once you've calibrated it. If you want to find out more information, please scan the QR code. That will take you to xTool's website where you can go over more of the specs. In terms of the workspace, it does have a maximum work area of 42.6 centimeters by 32 centimeters. The reason it's got an asterisk next to it is because if you switch to the 3-watt infrared module, you will get slightly less space. And again, if you use the inkjet module, you will get the least amount of space. And again, all the information is listed on the website in terms of what usable area you have for the various modules. The 10-watt and 20-watt modules have the same work area, which is that maximum work area. So if you're just using the 10-watt or 20-watt diode laser modules, you will get that maximum workspace of 42.6 by 32 centimeters. And again, if you have any questions about that, please do reach out to me. So we jump over to the baby of the family. So this is the xTool F2, and it is a dual laser system. It has a 5-watt infrared laser and a 15-watt diode laser. Because of this, it's able to engrave on well over 300 plus materials. So you can select in the software which laser you want to use, and you can use both lasers at different points on the same project. So by that I mean you could have an element that is engraved with the diode laser, and you've set it to the diode laser, and then you could have a separate element that is engraved using the infrared laser in the same job. So it will automatically switch in the software between the lasers that you choose. This has a maximum speed of 6,000 millimeters a second. So the previous one was 600. So this is 10 times faster than the M2. And the reason for that is the M2 is a gantry-based laser. So it moves from left to right, up and down. The Galvo laser has a couple of mirrors in it that bounce the laser beam around the bed. And because of that, you're able to achieve these crazy fast speeds. The drawback of a Galvo laser is the work area. So the work area is considerably less on a Galvo laser. So the work area in this case of the F2 is 11.5 by 11.5 centimeters. So that's roughly the size of a coaster. So this is a 10 by 10 centimeter coaster. But the F2 excels in speed. So the Galvo lasers really do excel in speed. So if you're looking to get a higher output, take this to a craft fair. So no longer will you be waiting 8 minutes to engrave a coaster. You can do coasters in 3 minutes easy, depending on the design. So this is a rapid machine that is quickly able to engrave objects. And again, it comes packed with tech. It has a camera in it, and it has a 50 megapixel camera that has an alignment accuracy of up to 0.2 millimeters, or 0.1 millimeters actually. I think the F2 is. Sorry, let me double check. Yes, it has an alignment accuracy of up to 0.1 millimeter. So using that camera, you can align elements up to 0.1 millimeters. And again, this comes pre-assembled. If you want to find out more information about this, please do scan the QR code on screen. That will take you to xTool's website where you can find out more information. And finally, if we jump over to the xTool F2 Ultra UV. So this is xTool's UV laser. And the UV laser is pretty amazing. It's able to engrave on all types of material. So material that would typically burn. So for example, a feather or a leaf. It really is delicate. So this is sometimes known as a cold laser or a cold processing laser. And what it does is it uses its high photon energy to break molecular bonds. And it does it with minimal heat. And for that reason, it's sometimes called or known as a cold processing laser. And it's not to say it doesn't produce heat, because it does. It just produces minimal heat compared to a diode laser, infrared, fiber, CO2. It does produce heat, it's just very minimal. And because of this, it's able to engrave on delicate circuitry without damaging it. So you can start a fire with the F2 Ultra UV. It's more difficult to do so. And in terms of the specs of this machine, it's capable of operating on speeds of up to 15,000 millimeters a second. It has a 48 megapixel camera and has an alignment accuracy of up to 0.2 millimeters. It's still fairly accurate. This machine is really the glass specialist, so you're able to engrave directly to glass as well as on the inside of glass. So you can create a 3D image on the inside of the glass. And the way that it engraves glass is very different than the way that, say, a CO2 laser will engrave glass. So a CO2 laser, the glass will absorb the energy of the CO2 laser and it causes microfractures in the glass, which is why you get a frosted effect. The CO2 laser, that's pretty much what it does. Whereas the UV laser will literally engrave the outside. So it doesn't cause microfractures in the same way. It literally etches out the glass, and you can feel it. You can see the glass dust when you engrave with the F2 Ultra. So the two lasers operate very differently on the way they get that effect, frosted effect on glass. Again, this machine comes pre-assembled. It comes very, very well packaged. The machine's pretty heavy. It's 22.5 kilograms. It is a big boy, and it is a very nice machine. I will say the dot size on this is tiny in comparison. So all the lasers have a dot size, and the dot size of this laser is minuscule in comparison to the infrared and diodes. And I'll cover the laser dot size next. If you want to find out more information about this machine, please do check out the link, the QR code on screen, and that will take you to the xTool website where you can find out more information. So if I just jump over to the dot size and quickly get that out of the way. So all lasers have a dot size. This isn't the actual dot size, but they're comparable to each other. So they're in line with each other. So diode lasers are naturally rectangular or oval in shape. So you can see the M2, F2 diode lasers, they're oval, whereas the infrared is circular, as well as the F2 Ultra. And the F2 Ultra, that dot size, honestly, the level of detail that you can get with the UV laser is absolutely phenomenal. So the reason why I show you this is because I always ask customers what they want to do with the laser. So I've had a lot of demos of the M2, for example, and I always ask, what will you be doing on it? So if you're predominantly going to be engraving, I always say go with the 10 watt. And the reason for that is it's a slightly smaller dot size and you're able to get more detail with the engraves. So if you think about it this way, if you've got a pen and you're trying to do a very detailed drawing, you might not be able to get those minuscule details because the pen is thick. Or if you're trying to use a marker pen to get very fine detail, it's pretty impossible. Versus if you use a very sharp pencil, you can get all those little bits of detail that would otherwise be missed. So if you're looking for high resolution images that have to be engraved, infrared or ultimately the UV laser is where you want to go. So if I was to show you something, I engraved this. This is, I've shown it multiple times. This is a Ring doorbell plug. You can see here. So this was a test. So you can see it's very dark. This was another test. It was a little bit too light. And this is where it got it perfect. So you can see this very much looks like a sticker when I show people here in the office. It's not a sticker. This is engraved. And I did this on the UV laser. So I also did a similar thing with my watch strap. And again, on the back end there, it's that same image that's here. It is here. And this is a silicone watch strap. So you're able to get very high resolution images with very fine detail. And that's with the UV laser. Part of that is because of the small dot size. So with that being said, if we jump over and do the physical look around of the lasers. So what I'll do now is I'll shoot over to the other area of my office and we will demo the xTool M2 first. So this is the physical machine. I mentioned that it has a camera on the lid. So this is the camera. This is that 5 megapixel camera that we talked about. When you close the lid, you'll hear it beep. So I'll do that again. You should hear it beep. And what that does is, one of my favorite features of this is it automatically takes a picture and loads it up in the software every time you open and close that lid. And honestly, it's a lifesaver for me. I don't have to click the button to refresh the image. I don't have to remember to do that. It takes the guesswork out of it. In terms of buttons, it has a sole button on the front. When you send a job to it, you simply press that button and it will kickstart it. If you have it open and press that button, nothing will happen. So you have to have this lid closed. In terms of buttons on the back, it's got a power supply with some connectivity. Obviously, you got this hose pipe. I have this venting outside. If you're going to vent it, outside is the preferable way. You can also vent it inside if you have the air purifier or the AP2. In terms of laser modules and switching it up, so if I want to switch from the laser module that's installed, I simply hold the side, pull the USB-C cable out of it, and honestly, it just snaps out. So on the back, you got some metal prongs, and you got magnets there, and it will literally just stick straight where it's supposed to go. So this is the print module. So to switch to the print module, it's that simple, honestly. So you could do the print and cut just by switching the modules up. So I'll leave the 10-watt diode laser attached. And the 2 megapixel close-up camera is just located here. So that's that camera that will take a better picture. Even though it's a 2 megapixel camera, it's closer and it's not a panoramic camera. So you do get a very nice picture and you don't get any lens distortion as such with it. So that is pretty much the M2. Now, if we switch over to the F2 Ultra, so the F2 Ultra, if I just manually adjust the camera here. So this big boy here is the F2 Ultra. This is the small F2. If we cover this one first, so in terms of the work area, it's 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters pretty much. So up here is not usable, but 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. You do get an L-shaped bracket both with this machine and the F2. This does help if you're trying to square objects up. You can just simply screw it into the plate and you're able to quickly line them up. In terms of dots, so to focus it, I don't know how well you can see that if I was to zoom in just a little bit. So if I zoom in there, hopefully you'll be able to see 2 distinct dots. So if I purposely zoom out, there we go. So you'll see a red dot and a blue dot. And to get the laser into focus, it's very, very simple. You simply move the red dot and the blue dot, or move the red dot into the blue dot. When the red dot intersects with the blue dot, that material is perfectly in focus to be engraved on this laser. The software can do this automatically. It uses the camera and it will automatically move the red dot into the blue dot. So you can do it manually or you can do it automatically. In terms of control, this machine comes with this touchpad. So up and down, this is the start button. This here below the up and down is the frame button. You do get a visual representation of what's going to be engraved. You can plug a USB on the side of this and run projects directly from the USB. In terms of buttons on the side, you got the power button and there is an emergency stop button here on the side. And then if we move on to the F2. So the F2, if I just lift this up, again, it's a similar thing. You have two dots. There's a dial on the side of this, so no touchpad. Although the touchpad here is compatible with this machine, you don't get it with it. So on the side here is an emergency stop. You got the work area here, and again, you can, if you wanted to, just screw this in to get a square. So if you wanted to engrave something, say a business card, you could square it off in here. So these L-shaped brackets do come in handy. And then there is a framing button, and that will automatically frame the last job that was sent to it. So you can see at the top here, this is framing the last job that it was sent to it. And that's using the framing button. But this machine is very, very handy, very portable. So because of the price point and the size and weight, this is ideal for taking to craft fairs. So it comes with a handle. This is, I think, 4.5 kilograms. So it's very nice to take with you on your journeys. I have this attached to this white box here. So this white box here is the air purifier. So I would typically just vent this outside, but for demonstration purposes, I have this connected to the air purifier. So the pipe on the back of this machine connects to the air purifier. There is then a cable that connects the air purifier to this machine. And what it does is when this machine starts engraving, the air purifier will automatically kick in. So you're not constantly having to run it. And that is pretty much all the main aspects. If there's anything I missed, I do apologize. I'm just trying to rush through it. I could spend the whole hour just demonstrating the technical abilities and the physical look around. But I do want to jump into a project now. So I'd like to do this for all the new people that are just joining for the first time. So if we jump now into the safety aspect quickly. So in terms of safety, never leave the machine unattended. Flat, stable surface. So when we talked about focusing the laser, if you don't have it on a flat, stable surface, it won't engrave the way that you want. You'll get a less than superior engrave. So please do put it on a flat, stable surface. Don't modify the machine. So for example, the M2 is fully enclosed. It's fully enclosed for a reason. Class 1 laser, don't modify it. They're designed the way they're designed for safety reasons. And then ventilation. So I have two of these machines venting outside and one of them venting into an air purifier. So if for whatever reason you can't vent this outside, or you're not close to a window, you might not have a window, it might be a shed, get an air purifier or the AP2. So depending on what machine you get, depends on what you can do with it. So for example, the F2 Ultra, that will not work with the air purifier. You need the more expensive air purifier 2, so the AP2. So do get the appropriate air purifier for the device, and you're able to vent directly to that, and it works great. So please do check that out. And then never engrave or cut PVC or vinyl. So vinyl contains PVC, or most vinyls contain PVC. As a general rule of thumb, I do not cut any type of vinyl in my machines. And the reason for that is most vinyl does contain PVC, and PVC creates a very nasty gas when it's engraved. That will damage your lungs and it will damage your machine as well. So it's a double whammy. So please don't do it. Please always check. And that's a case of knowing your materials. For this reason, I don't just engrave random people's leather wallets, for example. You can engrave leather, you can engrave PU leather, but you have to make sure it doesn't contain dangerous chemicals. So for example, real leather gets tanned, and how it gets tanned is important. So did that leather get tanned with vegetable oil, for example, or did it get tanned using some chemicals that are going to be released when you start vaporizing it, so when you start engraving it or cutting it? And the same goes for fake leather, so PU leather. Does it contain PVC? It is really important. So always know your material, and for that reason I never engrave material I don't know where it came from. And then safety glasses. So the M2 is fully enclosed, you don't have to worry about safety glasses, but the F2 and the F2 Ultra, you can operate it if you want with the lid open. There are times where you would want to do that. For example, if you're using the rotary device, or if you're using the slide extension or the conveyor belt, you would need to open up that enclosure. So that's exposing the laser beams, and therefore you would need safety glasses. And you can get safety glasses direct from xTool. And again, if you have any questions, please do reach out and I'll be happy to help. With that being said, we'll jump over to the xTool Creative Studio software. So from here, if I just make this full screen, and what I'll do is we'll jump over to the Academy first of all. So I constantly get asked about official resources from xTool. This is your official resource, video resource. So if I was to click the F2, for example, that will take me directly to stuff about the F2. You can follow along these courses. They're not long. Honestly, it's quite handy to have. You also have the option, if I untick this and go down to general, laser safety training. I highly recommend that. Can't recommend it high enough. It's good to know, good knowledge. It comes in handy if you're doing events. Sometimes you get asked to do a risk management, and this can form a part of that. It's honestly good knowledge to have. And then finally, there's also business related courses. So Paul has created a short course. Please do check it out. He's a good guy. Follow him on YouTube and Facebook. There's his social media accounts. Honestly, it's good stuff to know. And you can do this. You can download this software today and you can check out all this stuff. So what I'll do is I'll post the link to the software in the comments. And again, you can download this today and check it out. You don't have to have a laser. So you can do all this stuff today. If you're interested, or if you've ordered a laser and are waiting for it to arrive, please do check it out. And then we'll start with the custom things aspect. So this is one of the things I'm really excited about xTool's doing. They are setting you up for success here. So if we click on custom things, I have this set up now with a simple product. So in this case, if I go to product catalog, you can list all the products that you can quickly import into your store. So if you use xTool materials, you can quickly import xTool materials into your store. So if I go to my products and go to here, I've just got a few items. So golf markers, the hexagon marble wood xTool material. I have that. Slate coasters, custom card. So I've had that for a while. So that this is just a custom card stock that I got from Hobbycraft. So if you're in the UK, Hobbycraft is well known in the hobbyist community. Also have the light up keychain. If I just make this full screen for the moment, so you have all these various options. So I have added this golf marker, and I've just added some of my material as a preview, so the customer can see what they're getting, an engraved version. If I was to edit, I'll show you quickly just how you do it. So I've added a picture that the customer will see. This is a picture that we will edit. There's no variations of it. You can add variations of color, size. In terms of the money, £5. I've enabled it. I've set the engravable area. So I've set the size of it up here, the engravable area here. It's very, very straightforward. What I've allowed the customer to do, so the customer can do text, specific fonts, they can upload an image, they can use pre-made images. So the pre-made images are the pet ones, so they're listed here. So you can upload custom assets. You could also do templates if you wish. So I've not done any templates. So those are pre-made designs where they can only edit a single aspect. So earlier we talked about family trees. I could have several different family trees, and all the customer can edit is the text that goes inside love hearts or the leaves or whatever it might be. So what I'll do here is I'll enable Doodle. I'll change it just slightly. I've set up all the settings, so the parameters. Honestly, once you set these up once, you're good to go. So you can see here, it's done. Hit publish, and that is it. It's done. Now, if someone places an order, it pops up under orders. So I placed an order, and if I click on it, this is me and my dog. So customer can place the order, and literally if I was to hit process, it will open up that order inside the software, load it to a specific place. It automatically sets the depth. So if you know what the depth, if you know what the thickness of the material is, you can add that in there. More importantly, it adds the settings. So you can see you've got all these various settings. It adds the settings in here, ready to engrave. If I hit process, that is literally ready to engrave, and that's one that I've already engraved. If I was to show you what it looks like underneath camera, so if I was to switch cameras, and what I'll do is I'll just zoom in. And I don't know how well you can see that. So that is literally a golf marker that is engraved. So what we'll do now is I'll show you just from order to engraving. So what I'll do is I'll just pop over here. I'm just going to take out this leather wallet for the back of a phone, and what I'll do is I will put a blank coin in there. I'll just put it under here just so you can kind of see what's going on. What I'll do is I'll just zoom in to the face, see how well that works. If I zoom in just a little bit more, so there you can see two very distinct lasers. So what we'll do is if we switch over to Safari, I will jump over to this custom thing. So there's a web version. So if you go to customthings.com, you can log in. You don't have to access it via the software, but you can. So xTool have created like a complete ecosystem. So I can see my orders. If I can see my orders here, my products, I can add, edit stuff. So anything you can do in xTool Studio on the custom thing side, you can do on the web interface side. So if I click on this, this will take me to the exact product. So if I click on that, I'm taken to the store. So this is the custom thing store. This does integrate with WordPress. So if you use WooCommerce, it integrates with Shopify. It integrates with several other platforms. So if you're looking to integrate this with an online store, you can do so here. So at the moment, I have just the custom things store active. I have the Etsy part active, and I do have WooCommerce connected. So I will be setting that up in the next few days. This is a demo store. I have test out all the different options you can do inside of custom things. So I like to test it out to make sure it works, and it does. So I have that in the process. I'll be enabling that so people that are watching live customize an order, and I can do it online. I can show you just how easy it is to start making products. So if you've got a TikTok channel, if you've got Facebook and you get a lot of orders, gone are the days where you're doing a lot of manual work or you've got someone helping you. You get the customer to do all the work for you, and they get more input and they get a result that they want, and you get an order that is literally finalized. If there's a mistake, the mistake's on the customer. So if they've entered a name wrong, they would have entered the name wrong, not you. So you can connect it with Wix and Squarespace. So you do have multiple options. I am running the paid for version, so I will say that you've got the starter. At the moment, this plan is free for 30 days. So if you do upgrade to the growth plan, it's free for 30 days. And then after that, it's $19 or about £15, give or take, with the exchange rate. So I will just like to point that out, that I am using the paid for version. So if we was to go over here and customize an order. So here I've set it as this is what we will be designing on. So this is a picture of the finished product, and this is what the customer sees here. This is what we'll be doing the real-time design on, and I'll say pickup. If I select delivery, it takes you to the payment gateway, and you'll have to make a payment before you can pick it up. So if you're picking it up, the payment's in person. So if I go pick up, you've got options here. I'll hit customize. So now you're taken to this screen. So I enabled the doodle option. So you can see you got the doodle here. So if I wanted to doodle on it, honestly, so imagine if a customer's ordering on the phone, it's nice and easy. You can also download the Custom Things app for an iPad or a tablet. xTool also do offer the in-store solution, so they do offer their own tablet. So I do have their own tablet here that comes in 3 variations: a normal tablet, a tablet that sits on a desk, so it's much bigger, and then finally a freestanding tablet that is very big. So they've got 3 different options. Alternatively, if you're a small business, you can use your own tablet that you have and take orders in store. So what I'll do here is I'll upload an image. So I want this marker custom, this golf marker, very custom to me. I'm going to upload an image. There's 2 options. You can scan it. So if I hit this button here, it'll show a QR code on screen. I can then scan that with my phone. So if you have the in-store solution, for example, or using your own tablet, and the customers wants to add their own image, when they click this upload via mobile scan, it will show a QR code. They will then pull out their phone, and it'll take them to a website, and they can upload it, and it all works great. So this is very handy to have an exhibition, for example. I've used this in exhibitions, many exhibitions for xTool. It's a quick and easy way to capture information from a customer rather than them WhatsApp you, and then you have to get it from your phone to your computer. This keeps it all simple. So right now, I'll just upload from device. I'll then go straight to just a simple image of Chuck. So obviously a laser engraves, it doesn't do color, generally speaking. It doesn't print. So naturally it's put it in grayscale. So what I'll do here is I'll click on that, and the first thing I want to do is cut out, and I'll use this AI cutout. I'm not doing anything. It's going to do this automatically. It's going to remove the background, or at least it should. There we go. So it's removed the background. I'm going to go OK. So now you would think that I can resize it, but you can see this border here. So what I want to do is crop out all that white space. And again, you can do this effortlessly through this software. And honestly, this will maximize your workflow. So that's what the theme for today is, maximizing your workflow. And it could be multiple lasers, or it could be using a tool like this to help you get more orders in and more orders out. So you're spending less time doing the tedious bits of making the design. Upload all your designs the way that you want it, all your settings, and honestly, you will be set up to start mass producing orders. So this helps reduce the bottleneck on you. So if I make that as big as I can make it, so if I make this small, if I do it bigger than the actual area, it will auto resize to fit it. So that's what it looks like there. And this isn't going to engrave good. So if I was to choose, say, an AI filter, I go, okay, do you know what? We'll do a pencil sketch. So there's 3 available AI filters. And if customer doesn't use this, you can do this yourself. You can click on the image in xTool Studio when it imports, and you can edit the image after the fact. So in this case, they've uploaded that image, which I have. So it's my dog. And then right now I'm going to generate the pencil sketch of Chuck. You can see just how easy it is. So it takes a little bit of time. So it's 96% of the way. How long it takes depends on the capacity at the moment. So if you're using it when there's a lot going on. So it's done it. And if I hit OK. Now that should engrave way better than the original image. So just like that, was able to do it. And what I might do, I might go, do you know what? I'll adjust some of it. I'll adjust the contrast, or, you know, we'll go back to 0. Might adjust the brightness. So I'll leave that back to 0. But you can do all sorts of stuff in here. Filter. So I'll leave that as it is. And what I'll do is I'll confirm the design. And then I'll import it into xTool Studio. So if I go back to xTool Studio, so what I'll do is I'll just confirm this design. I guess I should show you what you see. So I'll confirm the design, confirm and pay. So right now in the software, the base coin or golf marker is £5. You can change that to whatever you want. I've then added an image fee, so you can make it so for every image the customer adds, it adds a set price to it. The bitmap retouch, that's where we use that AI filter. You can add an additional charge. So typically speaking, I wouldn't charge extra for the bitmap retouching, but it might be you get first image free, second image you pay an additional charge for. So you got these varying options. If I hit pay and confirm, so it asks what you want to do. So I'm just going to do in-store pickup. I'm going to enter the information here now, and then I'll show you what it looks like in xTool Studio. Sendcd.com, Rocket, and telephone number 07846 110 270. So I've added that in. I've hit confirm. And this is what you get. So you've got this pickup code. You'll also get an email. I'll get an email. So right now I've used the same email address that I've got this all set up on. So I get 2 emails. But if I go into the xTool software, so if I go to here and go over to custom things, if I go back to home and click on these orders again, you can see there's a second order come through. And if I click on this, you can see that's Chuck. Now, if I was to hit process, it will open up automatically in xTool Studio. So, and the same goes, so if I go to Safari and go on the back end, so the admin end, if I go back to orders, I can do the same thing again. If I hit this process button, it will automatically, or it will ask to open xTool Studio, and it will automatically import this information in. So you've got two ways of doing it. The preferable way, if you're using the small business version, is to just do it all through xTool Studio. It's nice and easy. There is an enterprise version available. So if you have multiple stores and want to manage multiple stores from one central location, do reach out and I can talk you through the benefits, give you a demo of the enterprise edition of custom things. So you have multiple options and you're not limited. If you have multiple stores, you very much have options. So if I switch back to this, so this has loaded up. So you can see here, it's automatically placed it here. Obviously the coin's in the middle. If I go over here and I just make sure that this is the right depth, I can then move that. And what I'll do is I'll update the picture. So take another picture here. And again, you can see that 2.7. So it would have naturally, if I pressed enter on that, it would have naturally went to that. So that was already entered in. You can see here that it should fit. So if I go framing and I go polygon, you can see it creates a square. So the reason it creates that square is because you can see the white here. So if I wanted to, I could cut that white out. And there's many different options you can use to do that. I could have also used the AI cutout. So the reason I just got rid of that is because when I do this framing again, set to polygon, you'll see it's no longer rectangle. I can make this slightly bigger. So if I select that, and what I'll do is I'll just make some micro adjustments here. I'm happy with where that's located. I'm going to close that lid. And what I can do now is hit this process button. Let me just see what that's talking about. Do we have any more on the screen? $360, 50% power, 1,500 and 100. So this hertz here, this is what makes the difference in terms of being able to engrave on enamel. Power set to 1%, modify. Don't see where the issue is. And that doesn't seem right to me. I'll just change that to 60 and just see if it's complaining. No. Okay, change that back to 50. Process. Okay. 54 seconds. So we'll see if the settings are right on this. In fact, what I'll do, when I look at it, I like to be specific because I'm very much a perfectionist. So you can do this auto adjust. It does do a good job, but I like to manually do it. So grayscale, and I make it so it gets just a little bit darker than what you think. You can see the level of detail when you zoom in. I'm happy with that. Maybe go just a little bit darker. There we go. And let's process that. Hit start, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to hit the green button, or the orange button. And what this will do is it will start engraving. So I'm just looking at this. That's quite nice. If I make this full screen, see if I can really capture what is going on. So bear in mind, this is done using custom things. So this is just an order that the customer's placed. So you can see the smoke that is being sucked out by the extraction fan that is going there. So that's one of the reasons I like to put it at the back. So it's quickly and easily able to evacuate that smoke. And again, if anyone has any questions about this, please do let me know. I'll also drop my contact information in the chat. So if you do want to reach out to me, please do. And there we go, it's done. So if I take this, and again, I probably could have made this a little bit more dark by adjusting the grayscale. So adjusting the whites. So if I just switch out of this and just show you. That is what we just did. And on the back, we can use the F2 to engrave on the stainless steel using the IR. So for example, I have this one here that I engraved. This was the other order that I engraved that you've seen. And on the back, I've engraved the back. Or at least I thought I did. There we go. So I just, there we go. This here was engraved with the F2 IR laser. And on the flip side, this was engraved using the F2 Ultra UV. So you're able to get and engrave without burning it. So if you use a different type of laser, for example, you're going to get burn marks like this. It's going to burn the material, so that's burnt through the enamel. So you're able to engrave a wide variety of items using different lasers, and always use the right tool for the job. That is pretty much all we have time for. If anyone has any questions, and again anything, if you get stuck or not sure what laser you need, please do reach out. So the xTool hosts, squad members, are very knowledgeable in terms of lasers. Alternatively, reach out to me if I don't know the answer. I'll put you in the right direction. I'll be online again on Wednesday at 8 p.m. So Wednesday, the 1st of July. I will drop, I've dropped my contact information in the chat. So if you are watching this after it's aired, please do reach out. And again, xTool have a massive announcement tomorrow. So please do check out the release that is happening tomorrow, and it's honestly, I can't wait. So I'll be getting the ultra violet printer, the UV printer, the O1 Omni UV printer. So I'm really, really excited on the possibilities. So for example, I engraved on this simple golf marker today, but this, I could easily add color to it. I could put this in that UV printer and print to it. I could equally put this piece of wood in there and print directly on it. Slate coaster, marble coaster, I can print directly onto the top of these using that UV printer. So please do check it out. I'm super, super excited. It's the product I've been waiting for a very, very long time. So many endless possibilities, and it's going to all incorporate into the xTool Studio solution. It's going to work with everything that I've already learned. Honestly, that custom things that I showed you, it will work with the print aspect. It already works with the Apparel printer, and it will work with the UV printer. So you can incorporate, you can add new things from xTool, and it will incorporate into the infrastructure that they've got already. So that's literally the main reason I choose xTool, is because they don't just do something for the sake of it. They take what other people are doing and they make it their own. They very much innovate. They make it easier. So I don't have to, gone are the days where I'll have to have multiple platforms to do different things. They have the AI generation incorporated as a part of the software. Atom, so if you're wanting to find designs or share designs, that's part of the software. You can access it through xTool Studio. Obviously custom things. So if you're taking orders, your storefront, it's all in one single pane of glass. So honestly, it's something that you have to believe when you check it out, which is why you have this amazing ability to book a host, a one-on-one demo, either in person or online. And again, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go in person and just physically see the machines, physically speak to the host that uses it for their own business and ask them questions. And that's all I have to say on the matter, really. And again, I'll be online on Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll